today what I'm going to teach you is how to dissolve mucus, how to dissolve biofilms, and kill parasites. Check it out, I've got a lot of alchemy. This is the super simplified version, but I just want to make it easy for everyone. So check this out while I make some juice. I'm going to break my coconut water fast just to make this video. But I want to show you what's up on the dissolving of these mucus layers all throughout the human body and the biofilms, which are harboring the pathogens. They harbor themselves in the biofilm because within the biofilm they are able to live in a more anaerobic state. So if you want to get rid of parasites, yeasts, fungus, and molds, you need to know one thing, my friend. Oxygen. Electricity. The electricity allows the zeta potential to stay high so that when you do breathe in the fresh air, the red blood vessels can carry that oxygen to those cracks and crevices in your body, making it impossible for the parasites, bacteria, yeast, fungus, and molds to survive. And when you get into a high oxygen state, the only microorganisms that can live in you are oxygen-based. And that's what we're trying to get to. Most of us don't have that because we've been eating hamburger helper, rice, meat, cheese, bread, and it leaves layers and layers of mucus that allow those pathogens, which proliferate and send signals to your brain to send cravings for you to continue to eat those foods because you got those microorganisms from your grandmother. You understand? And so each generation continues onward with the traditional foods, even though they don't lead to the highest state of health. So what I'm doing here today is making a nice citrus juice, okay? It's a nice combination of these very fresh fruits, which I just picked off the tree yesterday, the end of the citrus season. I'm going heavy on the lemon. That was one grapefruit, one orange, and I go heavy on the lemon. I don't know if you know this or not, but there are viruses in the vaccines, and they're injected directly into our arms as babies, and then those viruses take harbor in our body. Now, of course, viruses that are exposed to radiation lead to cancer. And that's a very well documented phenomenon which dates way back to the 1960s. It's just that for the most part, we don't get exposed to any knowledge or data that would change our lives in a beneficial way. So you kind of need to really dig and find the truth. What I like to do is look to nature for my answers. And with the newest and latest understanding in microbiology, we're able to start to put together some of these protocols using the biocides and the common sense of the pure water, the fresh air, the sunlight, and the oxygen, which of course are concentrated in these living foods. All living foods contain hydrogen, oxygen, and minerals. When you heat the food, you destroy all of those properties, the hydrogen, the oxygen, and the bioluminescent minerals. I know that a lot of people don't understand bioluminescence, but if you're one of those people who don't understand it, simply look it up and study the phenomenon of bioluminescence, and then you will be enlightened. And then you can start to understand the true power of the living foods. This is a Tangelo. I'm just going for a quart here. I'm going to need a little more than a quart because I'm going to make a little tiny biocide tonic. Simplicity is the key, but we live in a gluttonous society. So we don't like it when somebody points out that, hey, those foods aren't really exactly beneficial. They're stimulating, and that's one thing. But truly nourishing is a whole nother thing, because if they were, they would have to have the hydrogen and the oxygen in them. But they don't, because they've been high heated on the stove, and all those gases that regenerate the blood and feed and build the blood, which builds the cells, is diminished. So we spend our days digesting masses of food that don't really add to the purity of the blood. And that allows for pathogens, microbes, microorganisms of the pathogenic nature to build the biofilms out of polysaccharides. They're also ingeniously using heavy metals as well to fortify those biofilms. This is the mucusless diet healing system. Amen. And there's no mucus. So this allows oxygen, this allows nutrients, cell permeability. That being said, if you live in these very toxic environments, it's good to use things like coconut oil, olive oil, avocados to protect yourself. Some healthy fruit-based fats. Coconut's a fruit, olive oil is a fruit juice, and avocados are a fruit. And so here I'm going to take, this is what I did to get the viruses out of my brain, to where 3 weeks fishy pus, fish-smelling pus, came out of my ear for 3 weeks, and my head was thumping, and it hurt like hell. And then this side stopped, and I was like, oh, thank God. And then I had about 2 days of freedom, and then I felt it go from over here, behind my head, over to the other side, and I was like, oh, shiznit, man. And then 2 weeks, it drained out over here. And after that, I've never been the same. And I knew that Kauai brought me here to heal. That was on my 6 months journey, when I took 6 months from the YouTube and went deep into some serious research and some serious self-development. And I've never really shared any of these protocols. Let me take this enzyme. Let me show you how to do it. Anyways, this is 1 tablespoon, which is all you really need for the biofilm protocol. Mm-hmm. 1 minute, please. Garlic works amazingly well to make yourself an unfavorable host to pathogenic bacteria, while simultaneously feeding the beneficial bacteria. So, if you really want to go hardcore, hook it up on the lemon juice. But that one right there with the grapefruit and everything else has the citrus, man. The citrus and the enzymes is that's the #1 mucus dissolving protocol in the world. Just those 2 things. Lemon is the best, lime is the best. Lemon and lime are the best. But then grapefruit, and then you move up into the oranges and stuff that are a little bit sweeter, that don't have the same cutting ability. Lemons and limes cut, dude. Like once a year, it's going to be a big game changer, because it'll open that up, and it'll clean out, it'll open up the cracks and crevices, hydrate the colon, and again, it'll allow more oxygen and nutrients to pass through. The colon absorbs a lot of moisture and minerals on its way out. Can you dig it? But it also harbors a lot of dead animals and dead foods, and then the pathogens are there, and it's a seething bog, and the whole world is like that. And I can smell people, and you know what? My colon is clean, squeaky, squeaky, squeaky clean, man. And I'm telling you, when a woman or a man gets a clean colon and there's nothing in there that's rotting, man, you don't even need any more armpit stuff. Boom. You do your citrus juice with your enzymes. You wait about 3 or 4 hours for the enzymes to start going to town. It's loosening everything up. Then what I have here, right here, are 4 essential oils. I use all different types of essential oils. I'll tell you, if you want to click off now, the #1 essential oil biocide for viruses, bacteria, fungus, yeast, and molds is the good old oregano, baby. The good old oregano, #1. This is the one that I always use. I brought in a few others just to give you an idea of how to super accelerate this one. I'm going to put a couple of drops. This one is outski. Just start with 1 drop for the first week, and then as you get stronger, turn it up to 2 drops, and then go up to 4 drops. I just put in 2. I don't have any more. I actually have more, but it's in my room, so that's cool. I didn't know that one was empty. So I'm up to 4 drops of oregano oil, okay? This is how you kill viruses and parasites for real. This protocol right here, believe that. And then I'm gonna do peppermint. A couple drops of peppermint. That's gonna open things up a lot. The clove bud, major antibacterial. Just 1 drop of the clove. Cinnamon leaf, another anti-parasite herb, essential oil. Boom. Now this is what I'm talking about, because these parasites and fungus and yeast and molds, they do not dig the essential oils, especially the oregano. Do not get it in your eye. Don't even get it on your skin. Be careful. And here you go. Now remember what I said. I'm also going to, this is some zeolites. I'm going to spray a couple of sprays of zeolite in there. You can use clinoptilonite clay as a zeolite to pull out the heavy metals as well that are being loosened up from the biofilm, because the microorganisms working together, the viruses, the bacteria, the yeast, the mold, and the fungus, they actually know how to communicate to each other to survive. Okay, they've been around for billions of years, okay? They know how to survive. We are living symbiotically with them. There's a reason why they're there. It's because of the toxicity. But as soon as the toxicity is gone, we no longer have use for them. They may have use for us, but if we clean up our diet, we have no use for them. You see? But what happens is, as they're dying off, the more pathogenic, darker type, worms, flukes, and parasites of all kind, send signals to your brain to keep eating things that you know are not in your best interest, whether that's ice cream or grains. I know grains are all the rave these days, but they're not natural because none of them are growing out here. What I see growing out here naturally, spontaneously produced by nature, is fruits and herbs and nuts, and that's it. There are chickens here, there are pigs. I have no inclination to chase them down and eat them, though, since there's so much fruit hanging on the trees and my appetite is satisfied. I'll knock this back. This is what kills them. After you've opened up and started dissolving the biofilms with the citrus and the enzymes, you knock this back, it's all over. I don't even have parasites. I got rid of them a long time ago. But I'm just going to do this anyways just to show you all. It's not the best tasting thing in the world, the oregano oil, but you very easily get used to it. You can also use just plain water and use 2 ounces so you don't have to chug back so much. Okay, I hope you picked all that up today. This is just a very small, brief overview of some of the alchemy of regeneration as it pertains to the modern world today, where, in my opinion, we are quite lost as a species as to what's real. I'm in this house with the roof. I got a shirt on, a camera, and technology. But I'm going to take this shirt off as soon as I'm done with this video and go outside and go to the beach and go harvest some fresh food and go find some purslane and live naturally like I do when I'm off camera. Okay, thank you very much. Everyone, have an awesome day. Let's knock this one back for you. Oh, I'm going to share one more thing with you. Ooh, you can feel that. And I just realized another thing. Orally ingested peppermint oil is incredible for the lungs. See, that's how you learn. I've never put peppermint oil in with the oregano oil, which is also very good for the lungs because a lot of people have biofilms in the lungs. and viral infections in there, especially as it relates to the chemtrails that are being sprayed with desiccated blood. I mean, this is all scientifically documented. There's spraying blood on us from the sky, and people are like, oh no, that would never be, you tinfoil hat wearing son of a bitch. Oxy powder. Oxy powder is really good for constipation and destroying and dissolving and bringing oxygen, you know, removing the junk and then bringing oxygen and magnesium into the gut to again create these environments where the pathogens cannot survive. That's why fruits and herbs are your food. Thank you.